This is Big Dink Energy, the pickleball podcast that's half insight, half nonsense, and all entertainment. If you love pickleball, don't take yourself too seriously and think a little trash talk makes the game better, welcome home. This is the place where life and pickleball intersect. We celebrate the chaos, call out the nonsense, and put the fun back in dysfunction. You're either in or you're out. And if you're still listening, you're in. So let's go. Big Dink Energy starts now. Welcome back to Big Dink Energy, the podcast of mediocre players just like you. So, Stephanie and Paddle Princess, I have a take, and I don't know if it's a hot take. Please let me know. But you all know we traveled outside of our area this past weekend, about 60 miles south of us, and we went to a pickleball court. Now, this pickleball court is in a multi-million-dollar family entertainment center. This is a multi-level place. They have a skating rink inside. They have hockey inside. They have soccer fields for days outside. They have a live stage for live music, food trucks out there. They have bars everywhere. You can get all your food and snacks on and all that kind of stuff. And they had 2 pickleball courts. Now, that's not the take. The take is not the 2 pickleball courts. It's what they did in this multi-million-dollar facility. They only had the 2 courts, but there was no divider between the courts. That's my take. Why not buy a divider? Why not go to Home Depot at least and get some PVC and some snow fence and put a divider up there? That's the most ridiculous thing to me.
Yeah, especially because it's $40 to rent the court, and it's really difficult to even get more hours than that because they book so fast.
Yeah.
So we wanted to book like from 2 to 4, but all we could get was 2 to 3. But really all we got was 30 minutes because we spent so much damn time gathering all the other people's balls.
Yeah.
And likewise, they had to get our balls too because it's not like we're
not
the best.
As much.
But the point is like half that hour time is just like saying, oh, sorry, can you get that? Sorry. It's aggravating.
Especially when we're out there trying to get as much playing time in as we can because we only have that hour. So we're trying to give everybody that was with us a chance to be on the court and have some fun out there. But the majority of the time, we're chasing everybody else's balls, and they're chasing ours as well.
Yeah, I mean, thankfully, we were playing with Dink Balls. Those are our sponsor. Of course, we want to make sure we mention them. But here's the thing. We had kids with us, too, and I'm not saying our balls weren't falling all over the place. I'm sure there's a joke in here somewhere that I could put in. But you put the 2 courts in this multi-million-dollar facility, and there's no divider out there. I mean, just go and get some baby gates, for goodness sake, if you want to. And if you're listening, drop into our social media. How many baby gates would it take to make a divider on a pickleball court? Put that in our socials. I'd definitely like to know that if you're one of those nerds out there that are thinking about that. But even that. But then imagine then if the baby gates are out there, are you playing better or worse, or are you mildly inconvenienced?
A baby gate would have helped. I would have been like, what the hell? Why do they have baby gates out here? But They have portable things. They have, like at this one place, they had these PVC, like you said, just wrapped with construction fencing.
And zip tied together.
It keeps the balls on your side. But this place, you're talking multi-million-dollar.
Yeah.
It would literally cost them nothing to
drill a hole, put a couple poles in, and sling a fence.
It's a 4-foot fence that you need for separation. It just didn't make it the best experience ever, and it just could have been enhanced with us not having to go back and forth. So that's my take.
I mean, yeah, I guess the other part of that is why only 2 courts? I mean, you know pickleball and what it's doing and the market it has right now and the market share. I mean, come on. I'm not going to name the names, but come on, expand your pickleball play out there and get some dang old dividers. It costs you nothing. Put them out there, get some dividers for us. Like I said, that's my take from this week. So if you got a hot take or you want to just chime in on this, make sure you drop into all of our social medias. As the kids say, slide into our DMs. You can also go to dinkandball.com and get some Dink and Balls, or you can go to bdepodcast.com to get all your comments on our takes on this show.
Yeah, just leave a voice message. Just scroll down and leave us a little voicemail and tell us what your take is on dividers.
Yeah, and you might be featured in the show. All right, let's move on.
It's time for Pickle Pal.
All right, this is the spot where we highlight courts across the United States. I'm with John from Pickleball Space in Arizona. John, I'm so glad to have you here.
Well, thank you for having me, Guy.
So, listen, first I got to ask, I know there's a huge coyote problem out there in Arizona. Do you guys have coyotes around the courts?
Oh, yeah, we just scare them away with the sounds of the balls hitting on the paddle. So, yeah, they just run away.
Yeah, that's awesome. Yeah, I worked with a couple companies out in Arizona, and it was always funny to me when I helped them build like risk assessments. They were always, oh, don't forget about the coyotes. Now I just have visions of coyotes playing their own little pickleball games out in the desert. I'm sure they run in and steal balls and everything.
It's a big battle between them and the roadrunners out here, so it's exciting. You got to see them feathers flying, and it's like they're just chasing each other on these courts.
They have anvils.
That's awesome to think about. Obviously, I'm a little bit older, and I grew up on the Looney Tunes stuff. So now I just
wish they had javelinas in it. I grew up in the East Coast, and it was coyotes and roadrunners, and the backdrop was Arizona. And I'm like, now I'm living here, so It's a beautiful thing. Yeah,
living the Acme dream.
Lifestyle, right?
Yeah, I think maybe Acme should get out there and sponsor some of the pickleball contests out there in Arizona.
They're still around, yeah, for sure.
That'd be awesome. So, John, tell us about Pickleball Space in Arizona. Tell us what you got going on out there.
So, as a director of development and programs, the head coach with PPR and Duper through the Pickleball Space, just so blessed to be a part of this family that's growing a little bit over a year. We have 10 courts. We do have a red light therapy area. We are connected and have an open space to a trampoline park called Stratosphere.
Wow.
So it's a huge family friendly environment for parents, adults, kids to enjoy and be entertained and have fun.
Yeah, that's really cool to think about the red light therapy, the juxtaposition of the red light therapy for that age group. And then you have the trampoline park, who maybe the people who are doing red light therapy shouldn't be over the trampoline park. And then in the middle, you have pickleball where everybody can come together. I love that concept.
Yeah, it really draws a lot of people throughout the valley between the north-south part of Phoenix and the east and west. Great location, surrounded by restaurants, a busy street called Bell Road. It's just a great location because of the popular sport of pickleball.
Yeah. And you mentioned Duper already. So I'm just going to tell you right now, I'm somebody who had to look up Duper a long time ago. I'm a very mediocre player at best.
That's fine. So, you're not probably a 4-5 like I am.
Yeah.
Mediocre, that's 4-5 because it goes all the way up to 8, right? So
yeah, I mean, I know where the kitchen is, but I don't go all the way up there because I'm too scared to be that close.
Oh, you got to learn how to cook then.
Yeah, that's right. So, John, how'd you get to pickleball?
So we moved out of the East Coast about 2019, about a little 4 or 5 years ago, and never heard of the sport. And in our neighborhood where we found a home was one pickleball court. And I asked the salesperson, I was like, "Where's the tennis court?" So I grew up playing tennis. He said, "No, it's pickleball." I'm like, "Okay, fine. Let's take a look into it." And so my wife bought these really inexpensive, cheap Franklin paddles.
Yes.
We have those.
2 months. It lasted 2 months. It broke. And me being very, frugal and cheap, I taped because it broke. So I put credit card, old credit cards or like those hotel key cards in between to tie it up, and it didn't work. But that's how we started. Got to play with cousins out in Surprise, Arizona, and I just fell in love with it. It's just an active sport my wife and I can play with when meeting new friends out here in Arizona, pre-COVID too.
Yeah, right.
And then it boomed. It boomed during COVID.
Yeah, so maybe there's a market there. Maybe you and I could start something where we go around to all the hotels and grab up all their used room keys and start something.
Recycle them.
Yes, right.
It will call them hotelier paddles or something.
Yes, absolutely. Yeah. So we started the same way with our wooden paddles. And so the great thing about wooden paddles, I can, with going down to Walmart and a rattle can, I can make them whatever color I want. It'd be really cool out there on the court.
Spray paint them, whatever.
Yeah. How many courts do you guys have out there?
So we have 10 courts now, about 30,000 square feet. Now, we could have squeezed in like 2 more, but the co-founders felt like it was just more spacious to build a community around these 10 courts where people can hang out in the lounge, can freely go in and out of the alleyways. And then when we have those tournaments, vendors can come in and set up their tables and booths. So a very spacious, open building, which was occupied by Sprouts, a grocery.
Wow, okay.
And the ceiling's around 25, 30 feet. So you got this airy openness of the space.
Oh, that's awesome. Yeah. One of the most important questions I have then, because I played on some questionable courts. Do you have dividers between the courts?
We do. We do have fencing. We do have fencing. And there's, a 4-foot entrance. And then there's some between 2 courts, there's some that are about 6 or 7 feet. And we do have barriers so that balls don't go in and out of other courts or out in the alley, but it's wide enough. Balls don't go flying everywhere unless it goes over these fences. Obviously, that will happen anywhere.
So I see that you guys have like the, Connect Four and the cornhole all for the kids and your little light up sign, hook, line, and dinker. This is so fun for families.
Yes. These are great games they can play in between, the pickleball games, and then kids are just hanging around, or people are just get tired after a little bit and want to take a little break. And cornhole is pretty fun.
Yeah, and what are some of the great things at your snack bar? I see you have like an awesome shakes and all sorts of stuff.
So we do serve coffee, shakes. We do have granola bars. We do have those honey sticks. We have a local honey purveyor. He's a beekeeper, and he provides us some of the honey. And it gives you some energy too, the natural amino acids.
And keeps those allergies down.
Oh, yeah. So it's common. Yeah, I feel a little bit of it. So, But yeah, when we define community, we work with custom provisions. They do have pre-prep meals. So it's a dynamic environment that's just not for members. We take non-members as well.
That's awesome. Yeah. So, I mean, you obviously have the membership side, but then, to get everybody into pickleball, which is kind of where we are with the podcast and everything we do, is, man, I can't tell enough people about this sport. So you got to have that other lower barrier to entry to just come try it, right?
Yeah. The intro classes we do offer, it's literally free because you put $15 down. That $15 goes to another class. So you just don't stop at the intro class. You go beyond it and reinforce what you learned during that session.
And you have rental equipment and all that kind of stuff, right?
Correct. We do have paddles for $5 for the day. We do have brands from Selkirk to Proton, which is a local company. Yeah. They're huge. They're growing internationally. And we do carry other paddles like Yola's and obviously Selkirk. Mm-hmm. So we're just excited about the partnerships we have, the connections we've grown. And I don't think there's any stopping in our year two.
Yeah, I can. I'm predicting. I don't know if it's within the next 2 years or 4 years, but we're going to see pickleball at the Olympics. I mean, it's got to happen. You're seeing it picked up now in some colleges, colleges who are replacing the Quidditch that they had with pickleball.
Paddles for brooms paddles.
Yeah, absolutely. I wonder what the exchange rate is on that.
Oh gosh. Yeah, our top coach that we have is from ASU, and he's played in the collegiate environment. And now I think PPA has their own thing going on with colleges. So it's exciting because we also partner with a local university, Arizona Christian University.
Great.
ACU. And so they also have 2 courts. We promote ourselves at their campus with their sports. And we're also partnered with a local high school, Cactus High School. So we're always about giving back and making connections with the local organizations, companies, schools.
Man, that is so awesome. That's really, that's the next level of pickleball is, if we want people in, then it's not just about come here and spend all your money. It's about what can we do for our community? How can we uplift people in the community? What can we get involved in and connected to within the community? So that's so critical to your success. I would imagine that's just awesome.
Yeah, that's basically, one factor, one aspect of how we run things. Obviously, it's a business, so there's got to be some revenue generated with our tournaments, with our clinics, with our round robins. So drop-in time too, and memberships. That's definitely a thing that we appreciate the most, that members find our place as their home, right? There's so many competition out there, especially public courts. That's our number one competition. And if people were to choose to play for free and have to wait or not have to be able to reserve a court, that's fine by us. But once it comes to, May, June, July, the dead of summer, where you're going.
Yeah. Well, yeah. So we're in Texas, so we get a little bit of that too. People are always, it's a dry heat. Well, yeah, I don't want to play in an oven. Oven is a dry heat too. So
right. And you don't want to play in hot and sticky and humidity. Yeah. You can't breathe. So having indoor courts, it's again booming throughout the country, no matter what age, right? I think the youngest I've taught 6 years old to 8, something physically they're just still growing, but you can still introduce a sport to them and get them started at a young age. It's not just about hitting the ball, it's about being coordinated, finding balance, finding agility, and staying healthy, right? Physically and mentally. That's where the sport is really supporting the wellness of overall of the human being.
Yeah, I think anytime that you can get a kid having fun exercising, it's a win-win.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, and this is one of those sports where, if I peaked in high school with my 185 bench press, I can still get back in now and I can call this my sport, right? I can tell people I do a sport because I'm in my 50s and I want to be able to tell people I'm involved in sports still.
And you can call yourself an athlete. Literally, you're an athlete if you're putting on some, athletic shoes, and we recommend definitely tennis shoes, pickleball shoes. Some people come on there with skateboard shoes, running sneakers.
That would be me.
But once you get on there, you're having fun. You're getting some cardio. You're breathing. You're making hand-eye contact with the ball, and it's just a sport that's gonna be a part of your life forever.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, obviously, we got the people that are in Crocs and they're putting them in sport mode too, and they're calling themselves athletes. So there's every level for sure.
Absolutely.
I take personal offense to that.
Crocs are not a pickleball shoe. There's no.
Yeah, I've won games in flip flops.
Hey,
okay. I've won games in flip flops because they were not as good.
Then you have a better duper score than you're telling us. Your duper score is better than you're telling us. So, do you have any characters like the regulars that are just characters at your court?
So there's the good, the bad, ugly characters that's out there. We have a great guy named Josh Peterson. His trajectory of pickleball in the last year has exploded. He became a member of the month. He's just a great guy. He's also hosting a couple of our leagues as a coordinator. So he's really involved in the mix as a member, not as an employee, but more as a member, volunteering and helping us out grow the sport. That's the good part of it. There's some bad characters out there, obviously, because if you're losing or you're just not having a good day, we had a guy who got upset, threw his paddle above our wall padding, which is about 6 feet tall, hitting the drywall, creating a hole from his handle. So we had to, he was able to patch it up. Good thing he has contractors under his belt. He was able to get it.
I mean, there's a little bit of respect, though. If he meant to put the handle in the wall, I mean, you got to have a little respect with it. Yeah.
But throwing it.
Yeah.
What do the kids say? That's that rage bait.
Rage bait. Yeah. I could see it. So there's only two reasons I could see maybe throwing your paddle. Number one, you're a ninja and you're fending off the Yakuza, or possibly you're Thor and this is your new hammer. Right?
Yeah, and you think it's going to come back to you, right?
Yeah,
no,
absolutely.
It's going to hit the ground.
Absolutely. All right. How do people get a hold of you guys?
Okay. They could go to pickleballspaceaz.com to reach out to us. The Pickleball Space on Instagram and on Facebook. We are on pickleballtournaments.com. We have, I believe, 6 tournaments coming up this year. We have a summer series between June to September. We have an upcoming March Mad Money tournament coming up in a few weeks, and then a spring fling in April. So those are ways you can reach out to us, and you can always come by to the space, right? I'm 57th and Bell in Glendale, Arizona.
Oh, that's awesome. Yeah, guys, listen, if you are going through Arizona or you live in Arizona because you couldn't get into Texas for some reason, then please go see John and the whole crew over at Pickleball Space Arizona, especially during the summer. If you don't want to be dodging coyotes and road runners and the heat, go to Pickleball Space Arizona and try them out. They have all the equipment for you right there to get into the game, low barrier to entry, and they're doing really great things out there. Now, John, let me ask you, and this is maybe the most important question we ask everybody. Either you or the court have walk-on music or music that just, signifies who this court is. What's the song? All
right. There's a couple songs, and I'll just name one of them. From Montel Jordan. This is how we do it.
Yes. Oh, with the tune. I like it.
Oh, yeah. He brought it.
It really embodies the work we've done as a mom and pop.
Yeah.
Right.
We're not a franchise. We're not corporate.
I'm hoping my sister and I can get out there. We take a lot of road trips and we visit courts all over just to play, so we're not sitting for 18 hours. And we head west a lot. So I'm excited to come on by.
You got our information. Let us know. I'll definitely have a court reserved for you guys.
And I want to go to that red drop.
We can do the podcast at the Pickleball Space if you happen to be in town.
Yeah, we'll do it live.
We have a little closet, we could set up with some eggshells. No, eggshell.
Egg crate.
Bellows.
It'll be too expensive, though.
Listen, if you're affording eggshells right now, you guys are doing something right. Do you have an eggshell guy?
All right. These farmers out here. Yeah.
Yeah. So great. John, thanks so much for being on the podcast. I really love it. I love what you guys are doing out there. It's John out in Pickleball Space, Arizona. Go find them on all their social media. All right, John, thanks so much.
Thank you, guys.
And now...
Pickle Destroy.
This is something it's either a yes or a no or a this or a that. It's going to be where we either dink, it's yes, or destroy, it's no. So this week we're talking hand gestures on the court.
So I saw on Instagram in a reel where they were showing the hand signals that you can do to your partner. So behind the back, you can do jazz hand.
What is a jazz?
Spirit
For
fingers.
our listeners who don't know what jazz hands are, what are jazz hands?
Sorry, I'm a former dancer, so that's where that comes from. So we have
ballet, not pole, fellas.
Okay. Open hand,
Okay.
meaning you are going to switch after they receive the serve, or a closed fist, which means you're going to stay put. So this is a hand signal that you're giving to the partner, your partner.
The partner behind you.
That's, receiving the ball.
Serving.
That's
or
receiving the
okay.
serve.
Okay.
That's receiving the serve. So you'd, put your hand behind your back and show them what they're going to do.
This is kind of like what a catcher does for the pitcher.
Right. So you're going to switch or you're going to stay. And then they also have like fakes. There's just a lot. You guys know I could barely get the ball over the net. So,
I am a mediocre player.
So
I am our listener.
So I'm sure that, what do y'all think? Like, do y'all want to try this maybe next week? I can't focus, so.
My main focus is just actually connecting the paddle to the ball. I could not be able to pay attention to hand signals, memorize them, know what they're meaning. I can barely not get hit by the ball. That is just way too much for me.
And Guy and I normally play together, like we're partners.
Yeah, we do.
I feel like it's going to cause, like, you didn't see it. I did a jazz hand, or I did an open hand, and you didn't see it.
I like jazz hand. Let's stay with jazz hand.
So I did a jazz hand, and you didn't see it, and I go to switch, and you don't, and then now we're just screwed up.
Yeah, we're not at that level.
Screwed up. I like that. You edited yourself. That's nice. Here's the thing.
You're not paying attention.
No.
Your
I'm
eyesight's bad.
definitely not paying attention to that level. I'm making sure that my feet are on the court and I'm in the right place. I'm not standing in the kitchen. And now if you're throwing hand signals in there, and I don't know, do I need to bunt? Do I need to steal second? What the heck is going on?
I'd be like, who's on first?
Yeah, please.
Third base.
Please do not.
Third.
Please do not bring up Abbott and Costello. You know how I feel about that. The worst comedy ever. Worst. That is so lowbrow. Slide into our DMs if you like Abbott and Costello, and then I'll delete them.
I love Abbott and Costello.
No, absolutely not. But no, the hand signals, again, for me, I am a mediocre player. I watch these Instagrams where people are like putting spin on the ball and stuff like that. Hand signals? I don't think so. And I saw something with a duper score. That's not me either. But hand signals, for sure not. I'm missing those.
So is it dink
as the kids say, you can miss me with those.
Is it a dink or destroy for you?
It's a destroy for me.
Destroy for me too.
I just want to do jazz hands.
Do jazz hands all up and down the
So
court.
I'm
That's
probably
fine.
going to say it's a dink for me because I'm going to do them. Whether anybody pays attention, I'm still going to do it for my own benefit.
So if you guys are playing with my wife, I'm sure there's a joke there. Watch for her jazz hands. And now let's move on to our last segment where we just have a little bit more meat.
Found, heard, and learned.
The F, the H, and the L. Something we found, something we heard, something we learned. Stephanie, I think you have something this week.
I do. So I found pickle putty, which is
I saw this.
sticky stuff that you put around your paddle, and you can go and pick up your balls so you're not having to bend over and pick them up, which is a huge problem because Stephanie, we hadn't played in a while, and she the next day was like, oh my gosh, my back hurts. I hadn't played pickleball.
It
And I
was
said,
so bad.
yeah, and I was like, it's literally not from playing pickleball. It's from picking up. And I said, pretend like you're going to pick up a ball. And she's like, yeah, that's where it hurts. So This is not sponsored, but
always room for sponsors, though. Pickle Putty, you hear me?
Pickle putty it's a genius idea. I
Yeah,
think
it's so
great.
simple, but it's perfect and so practical.
And on their Instagram, they had it like picking up stuff out of the fridge and picking up a weight and picking up, a lot of different things.
So they caught you on their socials.
Oh, yes.
That's where I saw it too.
Yeah. So I thought that's what I found this week and I wanted to share it with everybody. So
Any advantage to putting it on your balls first?
I don't think so.
No, I'm just making sure.
No, you got to put it on your paddle.
Put it on the paddle.
Put it on the paddle.
No, it doesn't go on the face of the paddle, obviously.
No, it goes on the outside and then you bend over slightly like you would have to. And then it just.
Oh, I saw it. They did an ad with Elle from Clueless, I think, where she did the bend and snap.
Oh, I haven't seen that one.
Yeah,
I'll have
I
to go
think
look.
that's exactly where I saw it, the bend and snap. I remember that. All right, something you heard.
Okay, so something I heard was, I guess there's this place called, or company called Weird Wealth, And you can sell stuff on there that's weird. And this lady was selling her used workout clothes. Like she'll go work out and then she packages them up and ships them to people.
Why?
So it's called Weird Wealth. I have no idea.
What's her website? Just for research purposes.
I did not look into it, but I'm just saying I saw that come up. I was like, that's something I've heard. So Weird Wealth, ship your clothes that you've worked out in. I don't know. Maybe it's
Is that all they do?
It's maybe the new feet pick.
They only do workout clothes, or you don't know?
I don't know because I didn't go down that hole.
If you see that search on my phone later, I'm just doing research for the podcast.
So have you heard of that?
No, I have not heard of that. I find that just disgusting.
You don't think after a couple good matches, we could just gather up your outfit and put it in a baggie?
No one wants that.
I mean, but would you be interested if it was a lot of money, or is money a morality
what's
thing?
The money? What's the money amount? Well,
where does your morality and money?
Let's do a little barometer here. 500.
Oh, $500 for an outfit?
Yeah.
Yeah, I'll do that.
Okay, but
it depends on if the outfit was over $500.
None of mine are.
If it's from Walmart,
her outfits have an R on them because she's shopping at Ross, just like us.
Exactly.
So 500 would be it. Would you go lower? 250.
I don't know that I would do it for that. That just seems creepy to me.
I couldn't do it at all. No amount of money.
Really?
I'm like, what are these people doing with their clothes?
It's the same with the feet pics. Like, it's just creepy, weirdo. I feel like you're just indulging.
Hey! No offense to creepy weirdos out there.
No, full offense. I feel like it's just you're just breeding disgustingness.
Well, I mean, they have those vending machines in Japan where you can get women's underwear, worn underwear.
What?
Yes.
Why?
Maybe that's for a different
segment.
segment.
Why do you know this?
Podcast research.
Why do you know this?
How do I know anything that I know?
That's
I have a lot
he
of
is full of random useless information.
Knowledge. Yes.
So anyways, that's what I heard this week. So y'all either go search it, don't search it. Be careful searching it.
Yeah,
right.
Do incognito mode if you're searching it, fellas.
Search it on somebody else's stuff.
Yeah. That's the best way to do it. Search it at work.
Can I use your phone? Mine's dead. And then search it.
All right.
Okay,
so something you learned.
Something I learned was researching this podcast.
Paddle Princess will sell her outfit for $500. That's what I learned.
So researching for this podcast, see if you guys can guess it. The number one genre of podcasts. The number one in all of podcasts. What is the genre?
True crime.
Murder mystery, true crime.
Comedy.
What?
Really?
Yes.
People are going to podcasts to get their comedy?
Yes. That is the number one genre.
That's ridiculous.
But that's why we're here, because that's what we like to bring.
Well,
right?
For sure. But I don't, are they just going to
and
listen
then,
to comedians
and
on
then
their
next,
podcast?
And then next is education.
Or so are these like long form podcasts, like the JRE?
It was just a study that was done.
Oh,
like
well,
you're trying to
research. You didn't research a ton then.
I didn't say I researched a ton. I said I researched and found.
You brought something to the show. Why isn't it fully researched?
I learned that comedy is the number one genre.
It sounds like you learned a small fact and didn't go deeper with it.
There's no need to go deep.
Listeners,
unless
please go
you're with
deeper
Dink and Balls.
Oh, with Dink and Balls. You always want to go deeper with Dink and Balls.
That's true. So that's what I have found.
That's interesting.
Heard and learned.
So, yeah, I mean, everybody's got podcasts nowadays. Don't go find any others. This is the only one for you. But, yeah, I guess I could see that. If you want to get more of your material out there as a comedian, if you want to be found, if you want to be discovered, you have to use all the modalities that are out there. So, yeah, I guess I can see that.
So there you go.
Paddle Princess?
I can. I was kind of shocked, though. I figured it would be true crime, but I guess people really want to just decompress when they're listening to a podcast.
People like to laugh.
Yeah.
Yeah, most people aren't trying to figure out how to kill someone and get away with it.
Right.
All right, I like it. I'll go with it.
That's it for this episode. Unless you've got something to say, think we got it wrong, have a better take, we want to hear it. Find us at bdepodcast.com or at bdepodcast on the socials. Drop us a message. We might just feature you in the next episode. If you had a good time, well, samesies. If not, maybe try again. We grow on people. So you know the deal. Follow the show, tell a friend, and leave us a review. Or just pretend this never happened. Until next time, keep the dink soft and the energy big.